Hello, everyone, and welcome to Edge Talk Radio with your host, Angela Zabel. That's me. And today I'm going to be here with author and channeler Kastalia Theo from the Realm of Inspiration in Illinois. So who am I? I'm Angela Zabel. I have connected to spirit my entire life, working with a team in the non-physical and sharing messages from a multitude of realms with people. I am a teacher, coach, medium, radio show host, writer, retreat host, gallery reader, speaker, doing online and private group sessions and classes, offering guidance, mediumship, intuition, doing speaking engagements, and sharing my knowledge with others, and working with people throughout the world. You can find me on pretty much all the social media platforms, and you can find out more about me to get you there at angelazabel.com. We'll get you the links to all of the other platforms. And Edge Magazine, who is hosting this amazing show, is the leading events and media resource dedicated to all aspects of holistic living, health and wellness, and the mysteries beyond. Sharing information, wisdom, resources, and committed to promoting businesses, organizations, and individuals who support our collective journey to wholeness and balance. And you can find out more about Edge Magazine at edgemagazine.net. And today we have Kastalia Theo, and she has, until recently, I'm just going to go through her bio a little bit, until recently, the only elves that humanity has exposed to let me start over on that. Until recently, the only elves that humanity was exposed to were through miscommunication. The truth is that the Elfin Realms have been working beyond the veil to help humanity reach the new golden age. Elves are born from the flower of inspiration to inspire humanity, spread positivity, and aid humanity in their spiritual journey. The Elfian Realm Communicator, Kastalia Nova Theo, channels all 7 domains of the Elfin Realm to deliver messages and teachings from beyond the veil. Kastalia Nova Theo is an author and a channeler with published works titled The Untold True Story of the Elfin Realm and the Inspired Evolution of the Elfin Realm. You can check out more about Kastalia at elfianrealm.com, and I will have the links below, so all of you don't worry about catching that all the way through. And she is also on different social media links, and she is on YouTube through the Realm of Inspiration on YouTube, and Facebook is also the Realm of Inspiration, and on Instagram it is through her also the Realm of Inspiration. So check her out. She's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. She has on her YouTube channel. She does a lot of great information. So if you're really looking to dive in a little more deeper with the Elfin Realms and listen to more of their on-the-go channeling. She does monthly channelings and offers a lot there. Make sure to check her out, follow her, a lot of fun information. And I've got to say, I met Kastalia at an expo. I talked to her. She is so full of amazing energy. I loved working with her. And a little while ago, I actually had the reading with Kastalia because my team on the other side was saying, she's amazing. You really got to check her out. You've got to actually do a reading with her. First, they had information for her to help her move forward. And then they wanted me to have that experience with the Elfin Realms. And I've got to say, it was amazing. And so much great information came through, and it's all there to help people in so many ways. So make sure to check her out. She offers a lot of different services through her website. So Kastalia, I am so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
How in the world did you start on this journey? Because it's not a normal one working with the Elfin Realms.
No, it's not. I started way back in 2020. My mom was getting her Reiki certification and she was practicing on me. I started going through healing a bunch of different traumas I experienced in my early childhood. And through that, I started to connect with other realms, connect with angels first and foremost, and our animal spirit guides, and then the elves. It started with a dream. I had a dream one night after a Reiki session of this man taking me into a school. He was taking me through a different ascension level, and he looked like a man, but not like a man. He had like big ears, a big hat. I didn't know what he was really, but he stood out to me so much that when I woke up in the morning, I had my mom do a drawing of him. I'm like, "Okay, this is what he looks like. I need to go into Reiki and meet this man. Who is this man?" It wasn't a man, it was an elf. When I went into the session, he presented himself to me, and I remember, like, my mom said my whole body was crying. I was like, I felt so much relief connecting with my eternal loving friend. So he was my Elfian traveler guide. And first, he just worked with me and helped me with my journey. And then I started questioning him. Okay, you're an elf. What is an elf? Where are you from? How did you get here? Like, what is this? I was curious because he was tall and he didn't look like how we were taught elves are. And that's how he started teaching me. And he said, through me asking, I already started one of my missions, which is to be their communicator. So about a few months later, after him teaching me things, I was approached by the 7 elders of the Elfian realm, and they asked me, "Can you be our communicator? Can you communicate our messages?" And it's kind of how I started with them. I started with the source of their realm, channeling through me. I did my first like full trance channeling with the source of the Elfian realm at the end of 2021. So it took a little over a year from when I started like healing and then working with the elves a little bit, and then I started. That's it took them approaching me really and asking me and me saying yes, because I could have said no and went down a completely different path.
And I think that's what people really need to understand is, like you just said, you can say yes or you could say no to them. The choice is yours. And when this first happened, were you fearful? Was there a fear with you when it first happened? And how did you work through that if there was?
There was a fear initially when I first met my elf guide because I didn't understand the boundaries of the veil. So I didn't know, can he manifest physically? I like would hear weird noises and think it was him. Like when he said, like, I'm gonna stick by you and stay next to you, like both when you're in a trance state and when you're like awake in the physical, like I'm gonna be right there beside you. I didn't know what that meant. So I was so scared because I didn't understand the veil line. It took a few weeks before I understood that he's not in the physical, he's just an energetic being beyond the veil supporting me. So that was my initial fear, like, what if he manifests physically? What do I do? But other than that, there was no other fear. With channeling, it oddly came very natural. I didn't feel as scared with the trance channeling. I already trusted the elves at that point. I built that relationship with them. I knew them. So it didn't feel foreign.
And that's something I think is a lot of people to understand. Like you said, to see the elf in the physical, that's a whole different ballgame. It sounds like really cool, but do you really want to see it yet? And that's something I think a lot of people, when they're working with the different realms, they have that fear of things physically manifesting in front of them, and learning to trust what you're getting from the other side because you can't physically see them, but you know they're there. And
Mhm.
when you talked about you went into the dream state and you saw them there, they're just, so my team is kind of working with me at the same time and they're saying that this is also a way and they want you to kind of confirm this is a way for them to talk and communicate with you without being that fearful aspect and making it more of a fun thing versus a fearful aspect. And was that something how you felt on yours?
Yes, I did. I felt that way a lot when they would only really talk to me when I was like asleep or in a Reiki trance, because they know that not just me, but all humans after like the fall of Atlantis and all the miscommunication, all humans, our egos have this fear of elves. Like they're a little scared of them because we still don't understand who they really are. So also because like they know I have in this physical form a lot of anxiety, but it's a combination of two things because they know me and they know humans. So they know the best way to do it is in a state where you're more in spirit. They don't necessarily fun, but more in spirit so that your soul can calm down the ego fears. That makes sense.
That absolutely makes sense. And they're kind of showing me like when you're a kid, how you're kind of afraid of the monster in the closet and you kind of get that fear and that anxiety, like what's in the closet, what's behind the door. But then
Mhm.
later on when you and in your body, it's a natural fight or flight thing with your body. And it's understanding our body. That's our first thing. So when you're encountering and working with the different realms, that may be your first initial reaction with your body, and then
Mhm.
showing it's like opening the door and like it's okay, it's just there's nothing in there, just close the lights on, and then
Mhm.
your body calms down. So they're just saying that it's really a good way for people to realize you really are calming your body down, because your body's like, well, that's not normal. That's not anything I've done before. And speaking of normal, so when you first channeled the Elfin Realm, when you first got that, and you wanted your mom to draw a picture of it, how did your mom take that?
So I just told her it was so weird, but she was working from home at the time, so she was just outside in the backyard. And I went outside. I'm like, "Hey, mom, I had a dream. There was this man in the dream. I need you to draw this man." And she's like, "Okay." Uh, she likes drawing, so she did it. But it's really funny because she ended up illustrating the Elfian Realm like later on for like books and things like that. So that was her first like start as well, which is really cool. She did it, and I filled it in with the colors. And before that point, I had asked for help drawing things that I had seen in Reiki before. So it wasn't out of like the realm of possibility that I would ask for her help to draw something. I'm not as artistically gifted, but I think maybe she didn't tell me, but maybe she was a little like, okay, this is a little weird. Uh,
A
why
little
do you want
different
me to draw this?
request.
Yeah, but I think she's used to like the strange and everything like that, so that really helped support me in the journey as well.
And that's something for those of you who don't know, like Castalia has the books, and with your mom and doing the illustrations, and they are beautiful illustrations. Your mom does a beautiful job with all of that.
Mhm.
So definitely check that out. And it's funny, not funny, haha, but funny to see the synchronicities in place and how your journeys, both of yours, kind of came together, helping each other out, moving yourself, both of you forward. And is that something, and I don't want to go in real deep with what your own personal stuff, but it's helping you move through. We had talked about healing the inner child. Has this been a journey that really helped the inner child, maybe not only for yourself but also your mom, moving both of you forward?
I think it definitely helped in some capacity. I can speak for me, I think so, but I do feel like maybe for her a little bit as well, because through my healing and me talking with her, and also the elves encouraging me to ask her questions about her own experiences as well, because I'm a communicator at the end of the day, so to help open people up to expressing themselves as well. I think that the journey helps us be more open with each other, and when she can share her stories from also her childhood as well, that dynamic is really beneficial for both of us. I think for our inner childs, just to express what we experience, because there are things I experienced that even though she raised me, she wasn't fully aware of, and obviously think she experienced that I wasn't. So I think it also helps us um grow together, like kind of level the playing field in a way where we're ascending together now, and the age of our physical form doesn't really like cause much limitation. I feel like we're more of an equal place now, and our inner childs are like meeting us at that level, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And I love, so I've just got, my team is like clapping on the other side. They're like, you brought up something they wanted to bring up.
Oh, good.
And that was to look at people not by their physical age, but instead look at it as a soul, and being equal souls, and being knowing that you're doing things more equally no matter what your age, and to let go of the age part when you're looking at people that even, and they're saying for people out there that are looking at people, connecting with people who may be older or younger than themselves, because the communication is, the age doesn't matter. Age has no bearing on the amount the information coming from the other side and who it's coming through. So they wanted to make that very clear. So because a lot of people may look at you and go, oh, you're a little bit younger, how would you have that information? And those on the other side are saying, let go of the age. It's the soul that matters. The age is just something you're experiencing here, but the soul knows. And they just wanted to make sure to put that in. But they're also saying for you and your mom, this has been a journey together, and your mom is such a big supporter of you. I know we don't have her on today, but she is such a big supporter. And how do you think it would have been if you wouldn't have had the support of a family member to help you on this journey?
I think I probably would have experienced another psychic suppression, because when I was younger, I could see things like very clearly beyond the veil. Like I could see and hear, and I would communicate. I mean, I've been told that I would go to a specific part in the house and I would stand there and I would talk. I would look up and I would be speaking with an elf, really, and I could see them, but I had a psychic suppression because of my biological father being unsupportive, being very like just a very negative energy, that when I was that little, I suppressed it all. So I think that if my mom wasn't open and awakened and wasn't supportive, that I would have experienced another psychic suppression, or I might not have even woken up to my abilities at all.
And they want people to know, I just keep hearing from them, they're like, and the people you have in your life, some of them there are to be your big supporters and to be there to help all of you on your journey, just as your mom was there to help you on your journey. So they just want people to know, if you don't have people in your immediate life that are your supporters, you might find them also in people you meet, friends, coworkers, that will end up being that supporter, or someone you may just see on YouTube. And I know then they just want to bring up, you have your YouTube channel, and they're just saying to make sure to look at things like that, because there's a lot of great information on YouTube out there for people to check into. And so one of the things that they're just kind of bringing up, they're kind of changing up everything how I kind of had it laid out today, which is normal, which
As
is
always.
normal. So you started working with the angelic realms. Was that more comfortable for you, or and how did it go from the angelic realm into the elfin realms?
So it was way more comfortable and comforting, and it's also, angels are a great easy transition if you grew up around like religion, a lot of like constructed religion, because angels and saints are one of the same names, or saints, ascended masters, whatever it may be. You're more familiar with the names and what they represent. So when you start transitioning into connecting with other realms, angels are a great way to do that. It's a great way to help ease any anxieties you may feel. So I started first with Archangel Michael, first and foremost. That was the angel that just brought me so much comfort and peace, and guardian angels as well. Working with the guardian angels, like understanding them and having that protection, it also kind of helped me get over a lot of fears of being alone as well, because you have the angelic support. With the elves actually work with the angels. So the Fae and the elves work with the angels in different ways. And how I see it and understand it is that the angels and the elves have more of a sibling dynamic, and that the angels and the fairies have more of the angels are the parental figure for the fairies, is how I see the dynamic. But they have a deep eternal loving friendship with each other. The healer domain works with Archangel Raphael to help heal. Like they work together so deeply, and always the elves are always like, connect to your guardian angels first. So I think that starting with the angels helped me understand the elves as well, and then also helped me understand channeling and everything. I think always having the angels around when you're with any other realm is important, because they're going to tell you which way to go. They're going to tell you, oh, this isn't good. Oh, this is good. So it helps. They're a really great guide for that, for protection.
That's awesome. I think that'll help a lot of people, knowing start there and deepen that connection, and then work your way into the other realms if that is better for you, if it feels more comforting, feels more relaxing to do it that way. So, and I love working with the angelic realm too. They're always
Yes.
so much fun. I love how you put that, the relationship with the siblings and more of the parental. That was a good one. A good way to look at it.
Mhm.
So as you started working with them and you started connecting with the main elfin, the main person there, your main, what do you call them?
So my Elfian traveler guide. So your
Traveler guide.
ascension guide. Yes.
Got it. So as you started working with him, and then you started working into the other domains, what are domains, and you have the 7 domains in the Elfin realm. Can you kind of go into what that is?
Yes. So the 7 domains are different aspects of spreading inspiration. So there are different ways that they can bring inspiration to the collective all. And they started as 3 domains before Atlantis. After Atlantis, they wanted to get more specific in how they help us and how they work with us. So that way, when we reach the next golden age, we get there in a better way, because they always say that even though there were previous golden earths, doesn't necessarily mean that earth was super, super high dimensional. It reached that ascension at that point in time, but we're wanting to ascend higher than Atlantis. So we got to kind of get more nitty gritty. They have the cosmic elementals and the earth elementals. So the elves that work with the cosmic elements and the earth elements. And within the earth elements, there's also, they really do work with helping us connect beyond the veil, helping us understand Mother Earth. They are like communicators for Mother Earth. They help her express. With the cosmic, they also help us connect with our soul and star origins, and understanding the deep makeup of our universe and where our soul came from. And that we're not the only universe, we're not the only like planet with life. Like, they help us understand that there's a bigger thing going on. They also have, that's 2. The other one that was one of the original 3, the Earth and the Cosmos, also was the Elfian Traveler Guides. So Elfian Traveler Guides are our ascension guides, and they're called Traveler Guides because Traveler is their name for ascended master. So when an elf ascends past being a spirit guide, it becomes a traveler. So in that domain, when they ascend, they become a traveler. So their main purpose is ascension. So helping us with ascension, learning about ascension, learning about us, teaching us, guiding us and each other. Even when they ascend to different levels, they can take on assistant to the elder. So they can go help another elder in another domain and help other elves. So they really were like teachers, if
Nice.
that makes sense. And
Absolutely.
then they broke apart and they made 4 new domains: the healers of humans. So they work with Raphael and our 5 body system. So mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, akashic, where your inner child is, and your past life body, which both are important to heal, to feel total alignment. And they also work with the chakras and helping us understand our health, and also not neglecting one body or another, inspiring us to take care of all of them, the soul and the physical, the mind and the heart, the inner child.
Which a
The
lot of us have forgotten.
Yes, very much so. The other one is the animal healers. So that domain wanted to work with animal life and also mystical animal life. So basically, they also work with dragons, unicorns, phoenixes, that energy, and they work with our relationship with them. They can help guide and teach us to have better relationships with animal life, with the group souls, or with mystical animal life. That's, I guess, they said it's the best way to translate it into English, even though dragons can come through very human-like, or so can phoenixes, but they appear like animals to our human eye when their energy. The Elfian animal healers also work very much with just like interrelations between like fae and elves, elves and angels, humans and angels, humans and fae. Just like they're help be that guide to support and help us understand things a little bit better. and our relationships with each other even. Our main thing is rhyme, rhythm, and reason. Understanding your rhyme, rhythm, and reason. So how you flow with others, how you express yourself, and why you're here, basically.
Nice.
And then the warrior domain. The warrior domain works with the warrior frequency, and they're cleansers of negativity. They work with the polarity line. They work with cleansing negativity through action, because that's what a warrior spirit does through communication and action, helps cleanse negativity. They also help us understand justice, karma, ley lines. They work a lot with ley lines and imprints and energies like that. They're very fiery, very fiery elves, but they also work to inspire us to step into our power as well. And the
Nice.
last one, last but not least, is the Elfian No Man Joybringer domain. Now, the reason they have No Man in the title is because they are the elves that were miscommunicated as Christmas elves, as mini humans, as they were the ones that people saw first beyond the veil after the fall of Atlantis. So they added No Man to Joybringer to basically say, I'm not a man, I am an elf in their name. Uh, it's very funny that they did that, but their main purpose is spreading joy. They work with cosmic joy, balance, and they are guardians of the veil. So first, they help cleanse negativity and bring in positivity through entertainment and joy. And then over time, a group of them in that domain evolved to be guardians of the veil, to stand at the veil line, protect it, and make sure that positivity comes through, not negativity. So you can connect beyond the veil and not have a guardian of the veil there, and who knows what might happen. But if you have a guardian of the veil or an angel or both, they do work together, guardians of the veil and
Nice.
angels. You have one there to ensure that positivity comes through, to ensure that what you're seeing is on the positive polarity side of the veil line, and you're not getting lost in negativity. So they just really work to be a beacon of positivity at the veil line, because there is negativity beyond the veil as well. So we want to make sure we're connecting to the positive side.
Oh,
That's all coming.
absolutely. I love that. And knowing, there is both sides of it. It's knowing what you want to connect to and who you
Mhm,
want to work with on the other side. So they want to bring up something you mentioned. A lot of people you had mentioned and for the Atlanteans, how
mhm.
they did get to a certain level, but we are actually going beyond that. And I think that's something very important for people to realize is we are moving beyond where a lot of the other civilizations were in our time. And a lot of people kind of look at that time as they were the best. We're trying to get to that level, but actually we're moving beyond that level. And my team on the other side is going, you have to realize how important each of you are, because we are moving beyond the levels you thought were possible before. And to be very, I just keep hearing the joy bringer. They're just saying to have all that joy as you're doing it. Should be a fun time to be here and to
Mhm.
experience this. So as you worked with all these different domains, the different realms, they're making themselves more known now than they have before, and you're seeing a lot more people are, let's say waking up and having different experiences with all of the different realms. Why do you think that's increasing now at this point?
So the Elves of Time frequency explained it to me in the sense of how time is broken up for different section, different ages. So they say that when we're in the divine feminine age, switching into the divine feminine age, they call it the Silver Age, before a golden age comes upon us. And typically, Silver Ages are the longest out of all of them, because it's a really big transition from false masculine control to divine feminine, and then to divine masculine, and then after divine masculine to the balance of both. And they say Earths have not really reached the balance of both yet. So we have a few ages to get to before we reach that true harmony. They explain it because the Silver Age begun around the time of technology and humanity reaching a high point, because now humans can connect and express and communicate to each other more and reach each other on a larger stand. that they were ready to step forth, because they knew that it wasn't just going to be a small group of people. It's going to be the masses. It's going to be the collective, all of the world. They're going to be able to reach all that they need to reach through one or two communicators. So that's why it's now we're in that stage where we're switching to a more lunar led, we're switching to a more silver age of the divine feminine, which is the spiritual intuition, creativity, that also brings the perfect energy for other realms to step forth, because now we're allowing our intuition to guide us about what's coming through, and we're allowing spirit to guide us as well.
I think that's awesome. It's a great explanation for a lot of people, for them to
Mhm.
understand what we're doing here. And we're taping this. I mean, we're doing this over an
Mhm.
electronic device, which wouldn't have been able to be possible not that long ago. So
Mhm.
without going to a studio and people actually going there and doing things. So it
Mhm.
is definitely a new age we're stepping into. And as you've been doing this, how do you feel things are moving forward with yourself, with your communication with them? Are they bringing new people in to meet you? Are they going deeper in their messages to you? And how is that working for you?
So I have worked with a lot of other elves as well. I have met like some like specifically that like I learned their soul name and I can call upon them and connect with them. Joy bringers mainly, just because that's what the collective needs now a lot. So working with them a lot. Also, they have brought me into their realm in astral state. So I've gone and visited their energetic meeting place in astral state. I experienced an ascension celebration, which inspired the inspired evolution of the Elfian Realm book that I published not too long ago. Was that journey of going through how they celebrate ascension and learning and experiencing it and really like feeling it like so deeply as if I was physically there. It gets stronger all the time, and it gets stronger in the sense that they also let me be. So what I mean by that is they trust that I have learned a lot of knowledge, that they don't have to always be around me when I'm explaining them, when I'm talking about them. They'll sometimes like to be around, like in a setting like this, they're all around. But if I'm sitting like with a friend or something and I'm explaining something about the elves, they don't always need to be there, because they trust that I know their truth. And I think that is a sign that our relationship has evolved, that I trust them to come when I need them, and they trust me to know my truth and know their truth well enough to express myself. Like even my Elfian traveler guide, he's not with me all the time anymore. Like he'll go off and do his own elf thing sometimes. And then I trust he comes back when I need him and I call him when I need him and he's here right away. But we've reached the level of understanding that I have raised my frequency enough that I don't constantly need elf supervision, if that makes sense. And I think that some people are scared of that. I was scared of like, well, what if my guides like aren't always there 24/7? It's like, it's okay. That is a sign that you've reached a higher level, that you don't need them there all the time. And I think that's something that a lot of people get scared of, is like feeling afraid. I had so many guides say, okay, I served my purpose for this phase in your life. I'm going to take a break until the next phase when you need me. You can call on me if you need me before then, but I'm going to go do this thing. You're going to do your thing. It's okay. I think a lot of people are scared of that. That's so I'm hearing like the Elfian traveler guides be like, explain this, like that it's a sign. It's a good sign if you guys are taking like 1 or 2 days away from constantly communicating. It's okay.
I love that. I think that's why they wanted to bring that up too, is they wanted to show you the more you hear so many people like, oh, I don't feel them here anymore. It's like, but I know they're there when I call them. It's you're knowing you're moving, you're evolving in such a big way. And to look at that as a really good step to celebrate, bring in your joy bringer. I like the name of joy bringer.
Yes, it's a good name. Yes.
And to bring those elves and those angels and to know you're fine, you're evolving, you're ascending faster than maybe you even realized. And so I think it's a great explanation for people to realize when that happens, you're not hitting a wall, you're not communicating. Instead, you're actually going higher than you anticipated.
Hmm.
So I love that. I love it, love it, love it. So all of this is so very different, and we're all ascending together. And as you've been working with the elves, they've helped you immensely for yourself, and working with them before you really kind of went public with a lot of this and really going through that, building that relationship. Do you think that's important for people kind of going forward when they're making communication with different realms, with different aspects, to take that time to just spend with themselves, to work on themselves before they move forward?
Yes, absolutely. One, so that you know what you're connecting to, because you could have a miscommunication, you could have a misconnection. So to spend that time working on your own energy, protecting your own energy, elevating your own energy, so that you know what you're connecting to and you know that it's like it's truth, it's love and light, it's not a negative entity trying to come through, so that you know what it is, taking that time just for yourself, and then for yourself plus the realm, away from the influence of others, because if you allow the influence of others too soon,
Mm.
the ego can do a fight or flight, where it can cause a psychic suppression. If someone says something that like causes a trigger and you're like, oh, maybe I am crazy, maybe I'm this, maybe I'm that. So you want to be fully secure that you know I'm not crazy, this is real, this is the truth, that you know yourself, you know the truth of you and the realm that you're working with and of your own energy, that you establish that relationship privately. So you know what to do, you know how to do it. You don't want to let the influence of others come in too quickly, for sure.
That's a really good point, and that's something they keep saying. They're saying that's so important for you to learn to trust yourself by keeping that, sometimes keeping that connection private with yourself and with them for a while, so you can sort it out, so you can figure it out, and so you can feel comfortable, because otherwise it's not the normal thing. I mean, if you would have went up to your mom and said, hey, by the way, I'm connected with this elfin realm and I'm doing this and this, it might have been a little bit different outcome. I'm like,
Yeah, yes, for sure.
okay, we do need to take you in for check. But it's realizing, build that relationship first, because you see it, and people make that first connection and give a message to someone and they're like, oh, I'm going to do it for everyone, but they're not taking that time to really solidify their own relationship between yourself and those on the other side first. And once you're feeling really confident in that, then to move forward with it.
Hmm.
So as we started doing this, and there's been people, I know I've had people questioning like the elfin realm, what happens there and how can they help? Would you be okay with going into channel to ask the elfin realms what they have to say about us and any information they can share with us going forward?
Yes, yes, I would. I just don't know which elder is wanting to come through. There's like three more dominantly making their presence known, but we'll see which singular one.
And they're just, my team is just saying, don't worry about who comes through. If they all
Yeah,
come through, that's fine.
that's true. They do like to talk though. In this format, they like to talk.
But it'll be for what's needed.
Yes. Yes, it will be. So one that wants to come through, he's saying, I'll talk with the collective later. He's like, I'll come back later. So he's saying, with cosmic joy and finding spiritual joy, he's gonna come through later to talk about that. I just wanted to say, like, hey, I'm gonna come back. But the main one that is like more dominantly making his presence known to answer this question is the chief Elfian warrior elder. So he uses the word chief just because he also uses words tribe, and he really fell in love with that concepts in humanity, tribes and things like that. So he's wanting to step forth, and he's from the warrior frequency, divine masculine energy, chief Elfian warrior. So when I channel, I do leave my body. My soul astral projects to my soul origins. So I kind of hang out in the sun a little bit, and they step through and communicate. Sometimes I see pictures, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I hear things, sometimes I don't. It really depends on what they think I need to hear and see. So We'll let him.
Are they also okay if I ask questions of them?
Yes, yeah, for sure they are. Especially this one. He loves
Yeah.
talking. He's a warrior. They say warriors are communicators. Warriors come with their throat chakra wide open.
I always ask permission first.
Yeah. So, Chief Elfian Warrior of the Elfian Warrior domain of the Elfian Realm, Divine Masculine. Now safely stepped back, you may step forward. Hello. Hi, I am the Chief Elfian Warrior of the Elfian Warrior domain of the Elfian Realm, Divine Masculine. Nice to be communicating with you collective all, and you as well. So
Thank you
what
so
I
much
do,
for being here. I appreciate it greatly.
oh, no problem. No problem. We're happy to be communicating with the collective now. Truth, 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 of course. So first and foremost, what I want to say is that before you start any connection with any realm, including us, you want to call upon the flame of truth. The flame of truth is the source of the Phoenix realm, and it is also a frequency that cleanses negativity and allows in truth and honesty and love and light. So that's a very powerful light frequency. You can have light the path before you, before any connection at all. That is very important. Now I'm going to ask, because I didn't hear the question you asked the communicator. What was that question you asked her before we started the channeling about connection with us?
So the connection with you has been increasing. Is there a reason it's been increasing? And what do you have to say about us going forward and how we can help ourselves going forward?
Yes. So the connection has been increasing because it's time. It's time for inspiration and it's time for higher connection, because you all have a seed of inspiration inside of you. It was a gift from some of the very first Elfian traveler guides. It was a gift from some of the very first elves in general. Our name used to be Yagamas. Now we go by elves because eternal loving friends. We are your eternal loving friends, and that nickname has become our name. We gifted you all a seed of inspiration that needs to bloom. And that seed of inspiration is your mission and purpose reminder. So we're coming forth to trigger that reminder, because you may be doing different missions that are somehow related to your purpose, but not really, but you need to do them. But you're forgetting the missions related to your purpose and reason for being. So we're coming through now to remind the collective of that, to remind the collective of the missions related to your purpose, and helping you feel more inspired and more joyful in all that you do. Now, moving forward, what you must know is that, one, if you want to connect with the elves deeper, you can call upon your Elfian traveler guide, your ascension guide. And I know the communicator has channeled before about connecting to ascension guides, so I'm not going to talk about that. Also, I'm not an ascension guide, so I don't know much about it. I am a warrior. But moving forward, what I can see on the polarity line and the dimension lines for the collective all, because that's one of the many things that Elfian warriors can see and do, is see energetic dimensions and polarity checks. So the collective is now in the gray area, and it's good that you're in the gray area because you're not in the negative side. In the gray area, you still need to accept the physical. So what's important is you're gonna reach into the positive polarity and higher dimensions eventually. But the trick is not getting a false identity. So false identity is thinking I'm awakened, I'm in spirit, and I'm going to forget the physical form, and I'm going to live in higher dimensions, and I'm going to ignore everything in the physical, and I'm going to pretend like I'm floating in a cloud. Yes, yes. So that is not a good idea. Not a good idea to do. Why? Because you're neglecting your physical form. Because you're neglecting the collective all. You're neglecting the reality you're living in. You're supposed to help this reality. You're also supposed to help learn how to balance in this reality. So it's important to be inspired to remember to accept spirit, accept the physical, find the balance, find the positive physical, find the positive spirit, find the positive mental, positive emotional, find the positive heal the negative, but do not fight the negative. We don't fight. We're warriors, but that doesn't mean we fight. We don't fight. Don't fight the negative because you're at the negative level. It's accepting, forgiving, loving, releasing, and learning to live in harmony, even if there are some negative things going on. Not allowing anger to control you. It's very important to acknowledge the physical and the spiritual. Don't get lost in either, because if you get too elevated and you forget that you incarnated in the physical for a reason, or you get too stuck in the physical that you forget you're a soul, both are bad. There is a such thing as too much enlightenment at this phase of existence because you incarnated in the physical for a reason. You are beings of life, and to be a being of life, you must experience life both in the physical and in spirit, and as a soul in the physical. So that's the most important thing to know moving forward, is that you must learn to accept both. That you can have the yin and the yang, you can have the physical and spiritual, you can have both. It's okay. Don't get too lost in one or the other. Is the most important message for the collective to know right now. The second most important thing is to remember your free will of choice. You always have a choice. No being and no realm can connect you unless you give permission. Your power of no, like your no is the most powerful no of any being, because you have the power to give something life or to take life away from something just by your words. So if you say, yes, I'm going to allow this thing into my life, then it has life in your life. If you say no, it doesn't. And it doesn't exist in your reality anymore. You are beings of life. You are all children of Father God and Mother Gaia. You are beings of life and enlightenment. You are both. Remember that. Most important, remember that your free will and your choice is the most powerful thing, and to not let any one thing control you. Know yourself. Know what's good for yourself, most importantly, because the issue of control has come up so much over the past few years. So know that you're the only one who has control over your own life and your path. You, not your ego, you, your soul. Yes, that's my answer to that question, beautiful being.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that greatly, as I've also run across people who are trying to always be enlightened and not wanting to live in this earthly plane. So I think that's a very good explanation for those people out there to always look at staying here and connecting there and not doing one or the other. I appreciate that advice greatly. And you had talked about purpose. A lot of people ask about purpose. And do you want to dive in a little bit deeper on what our purpose is here?
So you all have different purposes, but the collective purpose is to experience life and learn how, while experiencing life, to overcome the temptations of the darkness. So basically, overall, you're experiencing life in the earth, and every time you make a decision to choose the positivity over the darkness, love over fear, you're elevating the earth. And part of your purpose is to take care of the earth, is to take care of the plants and the animals and the energy of the earth. Because you are beings of life, the earth is like your baby. The earth and you work together and you help each other. And because the tree of life that you're all from at the end of the day is so close to the earth, and the angelic Gaia watching over the earth has so many of her true to true children incarnating both as humans and as animals and plants, and you created that relationship as beings of life with the angelic realm to work and assist each other. And you developed eternal loving friendships as well, because when we came through as a realm of inspiration and we learned that inspiration comes through connection and eternal loving friendships, we not only developed that with other realms, we helped humanity develop that with each other and other realms. So it's important to know that another huge reason why you are here is to connect with the earth, is to connect with the animals, is to connect with each other. is to experience the beauty of life, living and breathing and being with it. But life is going to have some not so positive things. So the test is overcoming that together and working together. We say collective all because at the end of the day, we know that it's important for you all to understand you are one with each other. And that's the biggest test. So no matter what avenue you're going to go about bringing oneness and unity with each other, that's the goal at the end of the day, is remembering you are one. Because souls after the fall of Atlantis, and we haven't really expressed this to collective much, so now this is the time we're doing that, but after the fall of Earth's human souls even started experiencing anger towards each other. Oh, you're from the warrior frequency. Why didn't you see this coming? And there became some negativity in the souls of humans as well after falls of golden earths, because you guys experience more time with the polarity and the physical. Sometimes in the soul, it starts to control you a little bit too. So you're all incarnating in the physical to learn together to overcome that division, that even sometimes after major falls like that, there can be some division. That's why there are souls ascending in a polarity. So there's the positive polarity, and there are souls ascending in a negative polarity as well, because there is oneness missing. The fall of Atlantis did so much more than cause the earth to fall into negativity. It did create division. That's why you are experiencing so much issues with equality now, because that's a test. Experimentation, overcoming the experimentation, and oneness, because the experimentation caused division during the fall of Atlantis, and that is written not only in the DNAs of humans every time you incarnate, but that is a mark on all of your souls. And you're incarnating now, working together to overcome that. So becoming one with each other is a huge purpose you all have. Unity. Yes, that is all I have to say about that question.
I love that so much. So I've heard, and from those on the other side too, that this is all about sharing energy, being equal sharing of energy from our side to your side. A lot of people as humans look at themselves as less than and look at those on the other side as so much more. What do you gain from working with us?
So for some of us, it's our purpose. It's quite literally, for some elves, their purpose to be a spirit guide. It is their purpose to be a healer. And when they work with you, they're completing their purpose. So every time they work with you, they're completing a purpose, and it's their reason for being. And they know that. The thing is that when we're not incarnating in the physical, we know our purpose. We don't forget it. We don't have to remember it. We know. And we know this is what makes me feel life. So purpose is related to life. You are all beings of life, so you inspire life. Yes, so when we work with you, if it is part of our purpose to work with you, we feel alive, even if we're not in the physical. And that feeling is something that we wouldn't experience if we weren't working with humans. And it's important for our ascension and development as well to work with humans, to ascend with humans. We want to learn from you. There is a whole group of elves, all elves. I started off that way even before our realm ascended to a different level of being. Every elf, and I can't speak for other realms, but at least for mine, we start off as visitors, all of us, and we learn and we observe humanity, and we learn from you. We learn how you do things. Even when you make mistakes, we learn from that, and we like seeing it, and we like seeing, not seeing you make mistakes, but we like seeing the raw reality of life and in all forms, and that things happen. Not that we like seeing negativity, but we like seeing life happen and exist, because truly there is nothing really bad. Negativity, when we mean that, we mean like fear, we mean like wrath, we mean like killing and things like that, like really true dark acts. But like something small, something bad, small happening, like our communicator getting bit/stung by a jellyfish, it happens, and it can seem bad, but it happens for a reason, and we like learning, how is this human going to bounce back from this illness? How is this human going to do this and that? We love seeing that. We love learning that because it helps us grow our relationship with you and with each other and with our purpose. So we gain so much from you. You teach us all so much all the time because we learn, you learn, we teach, you teach. Eternal loving friendship. It is an equal partnership. We are equals. Even in our realm, I'm an elder, but the elves in my realm, I'm still equal with them. I'm just their guide, but they still teach me things because they're doing things that I'm not doing anymore. They're working in the nitty gritty that I'm not doing anymore. So I learn from them in that way. We're all equal. Every realm, every being in every realm, we're all equal with each other. So no one's less than the other. No one, not even if you feel lost in darkness, are you less than, because you're equal still.
I love that. Thank you so much for that explanation. I think it's going to help a lot of people understand a little bit more about themselves. I'm so impressed. And I just wanted to, I know we're getting later on time, and I know Kastalia has some things going on.
Yes.
Is there anything else you or any of the others would like to say before we stop the channeling today?
The last thing I would like to share with the collective at this time is that just to remember your truth and don't let anybody tell you what your truth is. Uh, that's it. Just remember your truth. Don't take someone else's truth as your own. And with that, we send you humanities all love, light, and inspiration. We love you all. We are your eternal loving friends beyond the veil. And may the petals of the flower of inspiration lead you back to our realm again. Until then, love and light, humanity. Goodbye for now.
Thank you so much for being here with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
Good.
So I know one question, and thank you so much for going into channel to letting them answer some questions. They did
No
a
problem.
fantastic job. And how do people, when they see people doing channeling, the people like a lot of times afterwards, how does it make you feel? How do you feel afterwards? Does it make you tired? Does it make you energetic? How is it for you?
It depends on who I'm channeling, actually. So with the warrior, because I am a warrior spirit, when I channel the warrior domain, that's kind of also why I work with the elves more than the fae, because the fae are more huntress, they're more divine feminine led, and the elves are more divine masculine. So they kind of explain that in different channelings, different books, like why that is and things like that. But because of that, with the warrior, I always feel energized. And if my energy is kind of dropping a little bit, they're always the ones that are going to step forth because they work on me when I'm channeling them. So if I'm lacking something, if I need help with a certain area, like they're going to step through, and their soul just being in my body is going to help, fix things. The warriors, I always feel energized then calm. Always like I feel energy, but I also feel very much at peace because I feel like our natural state of being is kind of calm as souls. We're not crazy all the time. So being energized doesn't mean jumping off the walls. It means like just being at peace, at one. With like the healers, I always will feel like a weird sensation, like they healed something, like I can feel it. And I'll know, okay, I need to like take a nap or something and let the work finish. With the animal healers, my nose always hurts because their energy, the energy of how their soul appears, their noses are more flat. So it's like more flat, and you can see it in their image as well. So when they step through, it changes. My ears always hurt because elves, the reason their ears look so many different ways, and ears are how we remember them, is because of the petals of the flower of inspiration. So it depends on which petal their soul is born from. So ears are a big thing. So my ears always hurt. Either they feel like they should be smaller or bigger or more pointy, they always hurt. And I have to be very particular what kind of earrings I put in my ears when I'm channeling as well. So it has to be real gold, real silver, or crystal, or a pearl, or something. I can't have fake plastic or fake metal. Like very particular because then my
Wow.
ears will like feel weird. I do have to like drink a lot of orange juice and eat a lot of spinach after. Just that's
Interesting.
me. That brings me energy because it helps ground me. So like the spinach or greens help ground you to the earth so I'm not still floaty because I astral project. So also then the orange juice, anything orange from the solar plexus, like helps you connect to the solar
Oh,
plexus, helps
okay.
you bring back to your own power. So it helps me reconnect my own power and soul in my body. So it helps with the readjusting of my soul coming back into my body. So it's very weird. I feel like I used to feel way more tired before, but now that I do it more, I learned the things that work and I work with elements from the earth to help me realign.
I love that. And, letting people know it's going to be different for everyone. And to know it can be exciting, it can be exhilarating, and that energy level building up too. So I think that's great for people to understand. And knowing the different foods, you may be drawn to foods or drinks that you're going to be drawn to, that you're drawn to because it's going to help you with that
Mhm.
energetic meshing. So
Yes.
so I just want to thank you for being on here, and I want to let people know to go ahead and check out your information. So I've got it at especially the Elfian Realm, and it's ELFIANREALM.com. Go on there, and I'm sure that's going to lead you to a lot of the other aspects. But then check out your YouTube channel, and people, your YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And then go ahead and you can order your books. You have The Evolution of the Elfian Realms, The Untold Story of the Elfian Realms. And I believe they're on Amazon, the Balboa Press, Barnes and Noble. And you also have a podcast, An Hour of Golden Sunshine. So make sure to check on there. And you also offer online sessions. So when you're doing online, are you doing them through Zoom or through phone, or how does that work for you?
So when I've done it through Zoom meetings. Typically, I do it based on how I do sessions in person. So about 15 to 20 minutes, and you can ask questions, things like that. They do want to get more specific in the future. So you can like pick which realm or which domain in the realm, which questions you have, but they are wanting to get a little more specific because they do know that there are certain things. So I know that in the future, they're, as always, going to want to start to add things, but they're wanting to add this now just because I spent a month working with my power animal. They want to add, they're going to start adding more things about animal connections, learning about your relationship with animals. The animal healers do want to do more like virtual sessions with people, educating them about their animal connections. So, like, if you're interested, be on the lookout. As always, like promoting their own thing.
Absolutely. So are you looking at also doing that in a class type setting, or is it going to be individual?
I think they're wanting individual, but at some point, maybe through a class or a book or something. I know that they're very much right now. It's like soul inspiration, soul joy is the theme of the fall. They always have a different theme, a different thing. So even if you've done a session before, if you like do one of like 6 months later, a different alpha is gonna come through with a different theme, and they're gonna be like, "Here's a new message for you with the new energy." It's always a new experience because there's so many different elves, and the elders want to take a step back. They want like individual elves that are more specific to step through. Like you can really ask, I want to talk with an elf of divine love. Can I speak with that elf in a session? Yes, that elf will step through, and you can ask an elf of divine love all the questions you have within the time frame. So yes, and I do believe maybe online it's showing, but also like if you want video, so if you want to just like ask questions, and I can send like a clarity video. So if you have a question for clarity, and you can like book a clarity video, buy a clarity video, basically that video is yours, and I sit and I channel whatever clarity comes through, and it's not as limited as a session itself. So there's also that option as well. So if you've had readings before, even the elves are like, if you had a card reading before with me, you can do an elf clarity video just to offer a different way to connect with the elves, because they want to offer every possible way to connect with them on the planet, really.
I love it. And it's really, everybody's different. Everybody's unique. So you might be drawn to different aspects of it. And like you said, as you're evolving, you may be drawn to another elf, another realm you want to work with, and to honor that within yourself, because they're always going to give you the information you need. So I love that. And if people have no idea, like I don't know what elf to even begin to think about going to, can they just do like a general Elfian reading with you?
Yes, if they do a general reading, it'll just be whoever comes through with whatever message they have. Sometimes if like they really have like nothing, nowhere to go, in rare cases, the Elfian source will come through and guide the reading, just kind of like helping open the space to inspiration. Because if you want a reading, but like your energy is a little closed off to the elves, you're a little scared, that's when the source of the realm will come through. So sometimes that happens. So even if you're nervous, there will be an elf that comes through that will help you feel less nervous. And always I can show the images of what the elves like generally look like, because they look like their elders. So if you want to see like an image of who's speaking to you, if it doesn't scare you, like there's always that option as well, and I can put that up. So whatever people are comfortable with the elves is whatever, and the elves will know what you're comfortable with as well. They can kind of, they read soul marks is what they do. That's why they talk about soul marks. They can see like everything on our soul, all our marks, our soul names, things we've experienced. They see it on our soul, so they can see that as well.
I love that. And it's really nice because they're really there to help everybody. They're really here making a difference. And I know they've made a difference in your life, helping you move forward and in so many ways. And I am so thankful that I was able to meet you, because I think it was kind of a coincidence of different synchronicities that happened to bring us together.
Yes, for sure.
Which I am so thankful for. And I know those on the other side are always working to bring people together to grow
Yes.
the community. And anybody listening on here today, you're part of the community. You're here for a reason. So always remember that. So I just want to thank you so much. And people, go check out her book. And the one you were really talking about earlier, the books of inspired evolution and
Yeah,
the
inspired evolution of the inspired evolution of the Elfian realm. That's the more recent one. It's just available on Amazon. Published it through Amazon Kindle publishing, so you can buy the Kindle version or the physical copy, whichever you like best. That's the one, the more recent one, where they explain different aspects of ascension.
Nice. I love it. So everybody go check out Kastalia's information. She's got a lot of great information out there. Go on her website, start there, go on her social media, order some of the books. You're going to learn a lot, and book a session, because you're going to be extremely impressed, as was I. So I just want to thank you again, and let everybody know out the elfinrealm.com, get on her website and check out all the information she has there. And I just want to thank you so much, Kastalia. I appreciate having you on. Thank you so
Thanks
much
for
for your
having me.
time.
Yes, thanks for having me. I'm very glad we met. You did help me a lot as well in my journey. So this is great. So much love, energy in the rooms, both rooms.
Both rooms. Awesome. Thank you so much. And I just also want to say thank you for being on here, Kastalia, and thank you for your time. And I want to let everyone know to make sure to check out the future episodes of Edge Talk Radio. They're on the first and third Tuesdays of the month. And if you miss the live episode, miss the episode that's airing, you can also listen to the downloads afterwards. You can listen to the podcast. They're available on all of the podcast areas. And then check out the YouTube video, which comes up the next day. So check out our future episodes, and thank all of you for listening, and thank all of the elves that joined us today. Have an amazing day.